ACC PM, it is hour number 2 in the old program. Tom Luganville, Captain Ron, Brother Fuller. I'm Mark Packer. We go till 7 p.m. You got the hotline number at 860-766-4258. We've gone through all the games from this past weekend. We get you ready for football this week. Again, the ACC gives you a little Thursday, a little Friday, a little Saturday. The one on Thursday in particular is a big one. We'll talk about that as the week goes on with Pittsburgh hosting Syracuse, both teams coming off a bye. All right, time for the very best of the weekend. The smart people back in Bristol put all of this stuff together, coming your way. And again, you got the hotline number. Hers looking about half an hour, but the best of the weekend starts with a gentleman that will be on this program coming up in hour number 3, making his debut, Bhayshul Tuten, who's just been awesome. I mean, goodness gracious, Tom. He is just running over, around, through. He's looked like the real deal, man. Been great.
On Thursday night, it was through, untouched, like that stuff.
Yep.
That's what was so, I think, disheartening if you're Boston College, is your inability to create contact at or close to the line of scrimmage. And you've got a running back that was consistently putting his foot in the ground, getting north and south. And to be honest with you, this has been a slow burn, right? It's been a buildup. We keep seeing more of it from him and more of it from him and more of it from him. I was unbelievably impressed with his not only ability to weave and bob, but to win foot races at the second level.
Yep. You put people in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
By the way, you like the all orange?
Loved it. You? No?
I know.
Oh, I did. I loved it.
You're higher on it than I am. I didn't there's something, again, that's a strange color combination. You can go goofy.
I think orange and maroon are strange combos anyway, right?
I like it when Virginia Tech goes to white with the old LSU stripes.
Oh, that are up here.
Yeah, up here. I like that look.
See, I like the old Michael Vick's where it was just the maroon jersey, the orange number with the white outline, and then the number with the white outline was right here, and that's it. No stripes, no nothing, and then all white pants. Maroon helmet with just the VT.
VT.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
got some clean looks.
Yeah, it's an interesting look with the Hokies, but I think it looks really good when they're playing the way they did. The Stanford game, I was impressed with their business of this one Thursday night. Mm-hmm. I know it got a little squirrely there in the third quarter, but man, they might be doing this on everybody.
What I said to you on Friday when we were out in Palo Alto, I'm like, isn't this around the time last year where they went?
Started figuring it out.
Yeah.
By the way, the offensive side, Tuten doing his thing. The defensive side, APR, he was on the show a couple weeks ago. Man, he had a great year. 4 sacks against Boston College. Nobody can. You got a problem. I don't care if the Hokies are on your schedule. APR, you better put about 3 guys on them if you can.
When he's such a finisher, like it's not all just all right beating one guy and having a beeline straight to the quarterback. Oftentimes he's having to redirect. He's having to work and chase and work through and fight through a block. Yep. His relentless effort, coupled with his ability level and that first step explosiveness, when you break the huddle, let's just say you better figure out where 52's at.
Yeah, 52, better keep an eye on him. I don't care if it's in maroon, orange, white, whatever the combination may be. He is having a great, great season. So Boston College has had a couple tough games here in a row. They've been kicking around all over the yard. Thursday night, they fumbled it 6 times in Blacksburg. 6.
Well, couple that with 4 turnovers 2 weeks ago against Virginia before the break.
3 in the second half.
Or 3 in the second half, that's right.
That's a problem now. It's hard to win on the road, but if you're going to give it to the other guy all night, good luck with that.
BC is a lot like Georgia Tech when you talk about winning on the edges and winning on the margins. And you're not good enough to overcome those types of plays, particularly on the road or anywhere for that fact. I mean, you look at Texas and Georgia on Saturday night. Yep. One team turns it over 4 times. One team turns it over 3 times. Both teams are heavily penalized. Like, somebody's got to avoid that one error, but those teams are so evenly matched that, but Boston College can't do that.
No, BC gets Louisville this week. That's an interesting game. The game's up in beautiful Chestnut Hill. Mr. Tuten is going to join us here in about 45 minutes. Not only has he been in the end zone all week, and every single week it seems like, but he also had the old Beware the Dog mouthpiece. This has got a little Halloween to it, man.
I like that.
I kind of think this could work for Halloween, right?
Absolutely.
Come ringing the doorbell with that. Beware the dog.
It says danger. That's great.
I like everything about that.
You should put that on your little traffic vest.
I'm telling you, the traffic vest and the danger beware the dog. I got a chance to put some Duke Horns on there?
Yeah, dude, that would be great. You know what? Just tell your wife you're going to get one of the black hats with the blue, and they'll be lit up, and that way you're good.
Middle of the street.
Middle of the street. People will think a Blue Devil's walking by.
Well, that could be a problem. There's a lot of Tar Heel fans in the neighborhood. Just that may not go over too well.
But tell them it's for your safety.
No, I don't believe that's going to work either. It's almost basketball season for those two. I don't think that's going to fly. But we look forward to having Bhayshul on the show because he's really been playing great. That's coming up at 6:15 later on.
But another big day against your alma mater for a certain running back last Thursday night, huh?
Man, I just love Bhayshul Tuten, and ever since his first game, it was last year versus Virginia Tech, beginning of the season, and he hurdled a guy, and I was like, man, this guy can run hard, and he ran hard for 266 yards, as you mentioned, against my Boston College Eagles, but 3 touchdowns on the ground, another one through the air. And you think about it, 266 yards, and he really didn't get that many carries in the first quarter at all. It was just Kyron Drones really doing, running the play action pass game really well. Drones was on fire in that first quarter, and they got a lead. And then when they got that lead, they started handing the ball off to number 33. And that's when things just went absolutely haywire for Boston College. But I think you saw Bhayshul Tuten, you saw his vision. You always think of him as a one-cut type running back. But once he got in that open field, he put the pedal to the metal, and he pulled away from guys. And I think that's what is going to get him looked at and noticed even more. You look at Garendo from last year, right? He wasn't really the feature back for Louisville, but he had that speed. I think when Tuten runs and performs for the NFL scouts with that speed, he is going to turn some heads.
He's also going to join the show coming up in about 30 or 35 minutes. We look forward to touching base with him. All right. ACC PM on a Monday afternoon. Again, coming up at 6:15. I got Bhayshul Tuten. Looking forward to having him on the program after he's just been running wild for the Hokies. And, of course, Manny Navarro joining us around 6:30 from The Athletic. But right now, it is time for Tom Luganville and Superheroes. What we got?
Oh. Pack, I had to dig deep.
You say that every week now.
Well, I'm digging deeper and deeper each week. How about this guy? Bhayshul Tuten, we just got done talking. We just got done talking about him.
Yeah.
The Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer.
You would love the Silver Surfer because he is so graceful and he just glides. He just bobs and weaves and slices his way through the secondary, through the first level, onto the second level, and nobody seems to get anywhere near him. He's always one of those guys that's as fast as whoever's chasing him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the Silver Surfer, you got to look at him because he was in the second Fantastic Four movie, which was not a great movie. But if you watched how he moved, it's graceful.
Like Mercury.
On his board. Like Mercury. Yes. Like that. In a thermometer. That's exactly right. And he looks like he's made out of mercury. Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you.
Nice.
And the enemy to the Silver Surfer is whom?
Oh, he's a bad guy, actually. But he's worked on both sides. And guess who he is linked to in that universe?
I don't know.
Your guy. Dr. Doom.
Oh, Dr. Doom. I like Dr. Doom.
You like Dr. Doom?
I do. He's got a good name.
I know you'd like that. All right.
Magneto's still my favorite.
I know Magneto. Magneto's your guy. You don't want no more Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's
no more Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's lame.
All right.
Lame.
All right. Let's stick with the same team. We touched on the performance along the defensive front of APR, Antoine Powell-Ryland. He is, and you'll recognize this name because you happened to catch him in a movie that you sat down off the back end to.
I woke up in time to see Doomsday.
So you saw Doomsday.
That terrible movie.
Do you see the correlation?
Yes.
Yes.
No
This
doubt.
guy is literally Doomsday. He brings doom with every snap and every quick twitch off of the football.
He is a problem.
He is an absolute handful. Great effort player, and the effort player along with the talent is what makes him so special. So another Hokie. This is Doomsday for this week.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Yeah. All right.
Doomsday is a problem too. At the end of that movie, you could tell he's a real problem.
He's and the more you try to shoot stuff at him, the bigger and stronger he gets. You can't. Pretty similar to Antoine.
Does not seem to bother him at all. In fact, he almost embraces it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Embraces it.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no.
It's like APR.
The more you fight him, the stronger he gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question.
All right.
quick break. When we come back, we're heading up to Blacksburg, Virginia. I keep telling you, Tuten in the end zone. He's going to be on PM here in about 3 minutes. All of that coming up next.
Let me say this. Virginia Tech has been running the football for a long time. A lot of good backs.
Let him run the boat.
First round backs. Big time backs. But guess who broke the Virginia Tech school license?
Hey, I love y'all boys for making me better, boy. Hey. I appreciate y'all.
About to break it down.
That's great. All right, well, that said, 266 yards on a Thursday night, still running wild. Bhayshul Tuten joins us. First of all, we appreciate the time. Man, when you're having a night like that, I mean, your offensive line just blowing people out of the way, it's got to be a great feeling, though, right? And when you just know the big boys up front are doing all the dirty work and you get out there to do your dog and pony, man, that's what's that feeling like, Bhayshul, when you're having one of those kind of nights?
It's definitely a great feeling. Like you said, the O-line, we're doing their big one out there tonight. They're moving people. Well, the other night. They're moving people, creating big holes for me to run through. And like Coach Tebow say, make the routine plays explosive. And that was a whole night full of it.
Were you surprised at how wide open some of these creases, some of these holes were? Obviously, you have landmarks when you're approaching the line of scrimmage, you're sticking your foot in the ground and you've got to get to a certain point. But these were gaping holes. I mean, there were times where you weren't even touched.
Yeah, on my 83-yard touchdown run, I don't think I was touched that at all. Like, the hole was, like, huge. And that makes it so much easier when they're able to get guys off the spot and make my read so much easier to where I could just do one cut and, gash it up the field vertical. And then with my speed, it's kind of an automatic touchdown from there.
I know that this sounds crazy, but you looked extra fast Thursday night. What? I mean, I know that you're sitting there going, "Hey, I'm just doing my job," but man, it looked like you had another gear Thursday night that I quite frankly haven't seen all season long. Is there something new going on there, or what was happening there?
No, I think me and Coach Brooks joke around about it. I had that bulk and knee brace on for the past 4 to 5 weeks. So I think finally freeing me out of that thing, I was able to cut it loose and actually, open up stride like I know I can.
Bhayshul, when you consider how the start of the season went, with all of the offseason expectations, the most returning production of any offensive team in college football, the schedule looks good, and now flash forward to now, coming off of this game. Do you get the sense that this team is maybe starting to come together at the right time and peak here as we enter in the month of November?
Yes, I definitely do feel like that. I think early on in the season, we took a couple L's, hard, tough L's. But I think we persevered through it. We know that coming off a big one like we did Thursday, we know what we're capable of now. And we got to keep the ball rolling. And that's all we're telling each other. Just keep it going, improving each day through practice, through meetings. Just go out there and just play fluent.
Not to put salt in the wound, but the way that game ended against Miami, which could have easily been a W, it seemed like the next week you go across country and people still buzzing about the ending of that game. And the way it became almost like a business trip when you went to Stanford, and it was a complete team effort. I mean, you ran the football, you scored, the defense was great, totally controlled it in every sense of the word. It felt like that was the moment for this team to say, hey, which direction are we going in? When you guys got back from the Miami game, what was the conversation point like with this football team internally?
The Miami game was a nail biter. It was a tough game. I think that was our best game played up to that point. And just the message from Coach Pryor was like, hey, we can come out here and do it every week. I think that was our best week of practice all week. And then just coming into a nail biter like that and then not ending the way we wanted it to. I think us and the coaches saw when we play to our height, like we did that game, that anything could be possible. Like no one could really mess with us. And I think that's the mindset we had since. So we went into the Stanford game, and we were thinking that all week, like it's time to turn like the tables around and it's losing. We're done. Like our goal is to win out, and that's been a motivation since the Miami game. And I think it's working for us, and we're definitely focused in that mindset that we're not losing no more.
Bhayshul, from a coaching and leadership standpoint, Coach Pry obviously he's been riding the ebbs and flows of the season, as you guys have as players. Describe his personality through the ups and the downs of the season, and up until this point where you guys look again, as I stated earlier, that you're kind of starting to take off.
He's always been positive. I know as a coach it could be hard when you have tough losses, not knowing what to say or whatever. But I think he's doing a great job just keeping us uplifted, keeping our heads up, keeping us focused throughout the weeks, throughout practices. I think he definitely giving us great words to like just keep pushing and motivating us to go harder, go better, and want more as a team. And I think he's doing a phenomenal job with that.
All right, I got to ask you, because I know we got Halloween in 10 days, but the danger, beware the dog mouthpiece, man, where did that come from? And where can I get my hands on one of those?
I actually got that from, I think, Academy Sports or the Dick Sporting Goods out here. They're very common mouthpieces. At first, I was looking at it and I thought it was corny, but then I was like, I like the white in it, and then the black, and then the danger. And then with the little sand they got for me, so I was like, hey, why not? I thought it was a little corny at first, but I like it.
We like it too.
Well, it looks good when you're going for 266 yards and when you're crossing midfield and you got nothing but green grass in front of you, man. You got that big smile. It was getting some serious love on Thursday night.
Yeah.
All right, so where do you go from here? Do you have other ones, or are you going to go back to that one?
Yeah, I have other ones, but I think that's my favorite right now.
What else is in the repertoire? Can you tell us, or is that a secret?
I got an off-white one. I wore the same one last year. I just brought a new one. I have a regular orange one, regular white one. And then I have it's like a Joker theme. It says "haha" on it. In all black.
There we go. Love it.
I think that may be in the works.
Serious.
Yeah, that may be in the works. All right, so where we go from here with this football team? I mean, you guys feel like you got some momentum. Here comes Georgia Tech, who, by the way, he's had a lot of success in Blacksburg, which you're not going to see Haynes King this week, so it's a little bit different. But where does this team go from here? I mean, you talked about trying to run the table and going on and winning every single game. What's it feel like right now with this football team?
I think the mindset that we're in right now is we had our meetings yesterday and stuff like that. It just take it as another week. It's the next week that we play, the next game that we play. Coming to meetings, practice off, focus. Just another game on our schedule, another opponent that's in our way. No matter who we play, we still got to put the ball down regardless. Coming this weekend, so it's we just got to hit the film hard, and we know they're a good opponent. We just got to be on our P's and Q's all week to make the game easier for us to play.
I look at that schedule. I see Georgia Tech, I see Clemson, I see Virginia. You got 3 more home games. Hokie Nation, and obviously he's going crazy. They've sold out the place for every single game. The momentum that you guys have to play in front of that crowd. Again, I always ask the players when you guys come on here. We had an APR on a couple weeks ago. When you're in that tunnel, Bhayshul, and you know, hey, they're going to be 60,000 plus going crazy. Here goes Enter Sandman. That walk you have to get to the tunnel before you come out. How would you describe that to Virginia Tech fans and anybody else that's watched it but have never been to a game at Lane Stadium?
It's a crazy feeling. I think my first time walking out, it was like I haven't experienced nothing like that before. So you're walking up to the stadium, coming from the locker room, and it's kind of like just a walkway, like a sidewalk going into the tunnel, and you just see like the fans from like the stadium's packed. So you just see the fans, the student section, most of the student section looking back, screaming, yelling, and then you just hear Lane like just loud rock, and so it's a crazy feeling. It's like you about to go into like war or something like that with a crazy support base behind you. And it's just, you hear all the screaming and yelling. And then finally when we enter and run through, it's like a sound barrier. It's going insane. It's crazy.
Do you like being in the front, middle, or in the back coming through the tunnel?
I like being in the front. So you see like I don't know, you see like the power, like all the fireworks and stuff. You see all that good stuff. I did the back last year. I ain't like it. Because I got like the back half of everything. So I always go out first. Like I'll be in the front now, so you get the fireworks, all the jumping, yelling from the initial run out.
So when you're in the back, you feel like you've kind of missed out on something. Like, the party's
Yeah.
already started, and I can't wait a minute, man. I didn't get a chance to really enjoy it and absorb it all.
Yeah, that's how I felt. So I like sticking in the front now, so you can get it all when it first, starts.
And by the way, how do you guys determine who's out front? I mean, I got to figure everybody wants to be in the front.
This is kind of, we don't really kind of speak on it. I guess it just happens. You just walk
First
to the
come,
front,
first serve, right? First
Yeah,
come, first
pretty much.
serve. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Get out of the locker room, get in line.
All right,
Get in line.
I want to go back to Coach a second because I'm asking you about the emotion of your coach. We've had a great time with him. He's always a fun guy to talk to. Before you come out through the tunnel, his last words to you, is he one of those guys that's kind of quiet and we've done our work, let's go showcase it? Or does he kind of give you one of those fiery pep talks that, hey, we got one more, let's let it rip? Well, what's normally his mindset before you walk out of the locker room, before you zipped into the tunnel?
I would say he's normally more on the quiet side. Trust your process that you've been through, all the work we put in. Just let's go out here and ball. He doesn't really give like a pep speech or anything like before running out of the lane, but in the locker room, you do a little 1-2 as a coach should. He does a great job. We have a couple captains that give a motivational speech, and then when we hit the walk, right before bursting out the tunnel, he doesn't say much. Kind of got that. He's like a player, like he's locked in and focused on running out, like and getting the game ready to go.
Well, I tell you what, you guys are rocking. It feels like the momentum has turned for Hokies and everybody else. I'm married to one. She's fired up. Can't wait to see what you guys do this week with Georgia Tech and the rest of the season. Keep your great play, man. You're balling and you are a big-time player. Stay healthy. We look forward to touch base with you later on.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
You got it. Bhayshul Tuten, man, he is a ball player. There's no question about that.